This Porsche 928 has been riding on its original suspension from 1985. So today we're going to change that, and then I'm going to take it to one of America's greatest driving roads and see what 40 years difference in technology has made to the handling and ride of this car. Firstly, the story starts at Collector Car Services with our friend Matt.
All right.
Well, look where we are. We're back at Collector Car Services with the legendary Matt Carfo. How are you, Matt?
Great. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. So you've done a mountain of work for me
Again.
Welcome to the world of 928 ownership. Shall we go through firstly the suspension? We've done some air conditioning stuff as well, but we'll leave that for a moment. And then let's just look at the suspension. And maybe what we'll do is we'll start with the old dampers that we've got here, just so people can sort of see, well, the condition that mine were, they really needed doing, didn't they?
Yeah.
And perhaps you'll show us why.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, here we are, look, here they are. So there were some particularly bad ones, which are the ones covered in
these
crap.
are the rears.
Yeah.
And all of this crap, it's sticking to it because the oil was leaking out of this upper seal and coming down the side. And then just the road debris just has been sticking to it.
Yeah.
The fronts were also showing it as well. And based on the way these look, they're original. So,
Right. Oh, you think these are from 1985?
I would bet.
Holy cow.
I would bet.
1985 dampers. Oh my
Yeah.
God. So these are well past you. And I think what we had, if I remember correctly, was that the front right and the rear left.
I think
Were
those
the
were the
worst.
worst of them.
And I remember I couldn't really trust the car.
Yeah.
You know, firstly because it was somebody else's work and I didn't know what was really on it. But secondly, once you told me that, and that was a few months ago, I thought, bloody hell, I'm not going to go very fast around here. And then we also changed some sway bars.
Yeah,
Is that what those are called?
These are the sway bar links.
Sway bar
this
links.
is what connects the sway bar to the chassis. But then you can see.
Oh yeah,
you know,
it's like the bushing in there.
Yeah,
Is it?
there's a little rubber bushing, and those go bad over time.
Yeah. And what would be the effect of those going wrong? How would you feel that?
You'd feel a little bit extra body roll.
Yeah.
If they go completely bad or disconnect, I mean, the body roll will be crazy.
Right, yeah.
And even going straight down the road, you know, you'll get kind of a little bit of that.
Wow, look at this, more shiny stuff under here. Wow, look at those. Now these are Bilstein B6s, is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe that's.
We went
Which
with
these
the-
are OEM replacements.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. You and I talked about this at length, and I've never driven a stock 928. So I thought, well, I don't know what the baseline is. So
Yeah.
I think we should go with stocks.
Yeah, for sure.
But also these are height adjustable as well, aren't they?
Correct,
And,
from the factory, yeah.
Yeah. So look at these. Is this all this new as well?
So on the rear sway bar, you don't have to replace the entire link. We can just replace the bushings.
Okay.
These are a polyurethane bushing, so slightly stiffer than stock.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're all height adjustable, and we can talk about that in a moment. And then over here it's the same. Again, beautiful, aren't they? And if we go up the front, observing this wonderful exhaust that we did in an earlier video, here are those sway bar links here, aren't they? All brand new. Now, when you looked at this, when we looked at the old ones, what about the other bushings? Were they okay? Or, I mean, how did you...
They actually feel really great.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if we put a pry bar on them, try to see if there's any play.
Yeah.
They're in great shape.
They're in great shape, which is
So
surprising.
no
Probably
need
those
to
are-
replace them.
Yeah, that's really cool, isn't it? Yeah. So now what we did is we also corner balanced this car as well, didn't we?
Yep.
Now, the stock dampers on this car are height adjustable, aren't they? Talk a little bit about corner balancing if people haven't heard of that before, and what the effects of that are to the car and what you're really doing when you do that.
So we have some nice equipment, more for race cars. But what we do is we set, we actually have the scales right there. Those are on leveling pads, so all four corners are level. And then we remove the wheels and put hub stands on the car. So essentially the car is floating on the scales, and we're able to see how much weight is being put on each corner.
Yeah.
Being a road car, you're not going for optimal weight distribution, but trying to get the best performance possible, we want what's called the cross weight. So the weight between these two and these two, we want that to be as close to 50% each, which usually on road cars, what we find is this wheel tends to be the heaviest.
Right.
So by
It's got
using
the suspension, it's got the steering and the passenger, the
yeah,
driver rather.
the driver's sitting there. There just tends to be a lot more weight here.
Yeah.
So by using the factory adjustments, we were able to distribute the weight so the car will behave as evenly as possible, whether turning left or right.
Yeah. And what else is there to suspension that we haven't covered? I mean, what about springs? We decided not to do springs, didn't we? But I can't remember why.
It didn't seem like there was any need.
Yeah.
The springs, they hold the car up just fine.
Yeah.
That's a good test. What really will hurt a spring is if like the powder coating gets a nick or starts chipping, and then they'll start to rust, in which case they'll break or just fall apart.
Now, having done the alignment and the suspension and everything else and corner balancing it, we've discovered that the tyres are not in great shape. They've worn very unevenly. And actually, I think with the old suspension, we had problems trying to do the alignment, didn't we?
Correct.
And I can't remember, something was difficult to adjust or something. So I think what we did was we moved the tyres around to get the most out of the tyres. But what do you think? I mean, look, you can see it on this one, can't you?
Yeah, these are done pretty much.
These are done.
You do have a decent amount of meat on the outside, but the insides are gone.
The insides are completely gone. So we've got a bit of tyre work to do there. These Continentals have been rather good though. I might get some more of those. Yeah, okay, all right. Now the other thing we did was the handbrake shoes.
Yes.
Those were not in a good way, were they? If we come back over here and have a look at those again, past these wonderful Ferraris, we had pretty much no material on them at all.
That was the worst one, no material.
Yeah.
And then this one had about half the material.
Well, I suppose half is better than none.
Yeah.
Right? But so we've got nice new handbrake shoes on. And the other major thing that we did was the air conditioning. Yeah, so we, if memory serves, we put a new compressor on, didn't
Correct.
we? And I bought a kit from Griffiths. So everybody that is looking for this, there is a kit that you can get from Griffiths, which I'll put a link up. I'm not sponsored or anything like that. But they do a kit which seems to upgrade it. Now you had a bit of a problem getting this on, didn't you? Or it was harder than you thought, or harder than usual, or
it was a bit fiddly getting the compressor itself in.
Yeah.
But then they also supplied a different receiver dryer, which that is quite difficult to get to. You can actually see it right here.
Oh yeah.
So that we had to get to from above, but it's slightly different than stock. So we had to modify the bracket that holds it in. And then they also gave us these new lines to replace. Right. Those were a bit difficult to break free. But it was all good that we did it all, because all of these O-rings, where all of these connections were, they looked original. They were all quite old and on the verge of failing. So
in one respect, it's quite impressive how long all these things have all lasted. I mean, original dampers, original air conditioning equipment. It's a 40-year-old car, but on the other hand, they badly needed doing. Now, we're not quite there on the air conditioning yet, are we? Because we think we've got a problem with the flap behind the dash.
I think so.
Because it's not blowing completely cold. It's better than it was, having driven it.
Oh, for sure.
It's better than it was, but it's not as good as it could be, we think.
No.
You've had other 928s in here recently, haven't you?
Luckily,
You
at one
poor
point,
man.
we had 3 in here.
You had 3? You're such a lucky
all
man.
lined up.
Yes, all broken, as per usual.
But driving them back to back, ice cold air conditioning, and yours is chilly, not ice cold.
Yeah.
And we actually compared temperatures, and it's about a 15-20 degree difference between the two cars coming out the vents.
Yeah.
So what I think is happening is it's coming. There's a problem in the vents.
Yeah, so and what I said this time was that Matt's had the dashboard out once this year. I didn't want to put him through it again. So we'll save that for another time and just sort of enjoy what we've achieved here, I think, for this time. So, well, this is really great. I'm desperate to get it out on the road. So I think I know a really good place to take it. Right then, the tail of the dragon. Not my favourite road round here, it's just a bit dangerous, honestly. But it's a very good place to tell you about my new suspension on the hottest day of the year with the windows up so you can hear me. Now, the first thing to tell you about this car is that, as you heard in the earlier part of the video, each corner of the car The two worst shock absorbers, mind my dentures, were the front right and the back left. This car already feels a lot more stable as a result. The second thing to tell you is that the ride is not markedly improved from the old setup. It's a bit firm, honestly, for me, but I'm told this is OEM for a 928, so it's also not that bad either. Now the other thing I've done also, as well as having it corner balanced, is all the alignment and everything, and I've put some new Michelin tyres on it. So for the first time ever, we're dealing with a car that is about as OEM as this could be. This is what a 928 should feel like, so it's a good baseline. Now, the other thing is, as I drive with a big smile on my face going around these corners, is that the turn-in is so much better. It's much more precise, it's much more instant, it's quicker, it's faster. Which on a road where this is just full of hairpins and tight corners, you know, that's quite important. So, handling. This is rather better than what I had. Now, I don't suppose that will be any surprise to anybody, given that I had the shock absorbers on my car, the original ones from 1985, and the difference is marked. I mean, I came up here, marked, is that a word? Marked, let's say. I came up here last year in this, and I couldn't do what I'm doing now. So, I'm not going to bore you with the whole of the tail of the Dragon, but we'll just stick with it for a few more turns as I enjoy this car. It's never handled better than this. It's no 911. You know, you've joined me on videos where I have had my 911 up here, and that has handled rather better than this. But then this is 1985 technology, and it is potentially doing a job that it wasn't supposed to do. I'm rather happy with this. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you watching my channel. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe and give it a like. It helps the channel. And as I catch up, my friend James, auto amateur, in his 911, to be fair, he has got caught stuck behind somebody. It's not because I'm a brilliant driver. I shall wish you the best and see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.